Need a boost? Sometimes all it takes is tapping into your inner cool. Icebreaker's gum helps you unleash the confidence within. Each chew releases a rush of icy flavor powered by cooling flavor crystals, sending a wave of refreshment to reinvigorate all your senses. Icebreaker's convenient pack fits everywhere, from car cup holders to backpack pockets, so you can find your cool wherever you go. Grab Icebreaker's gum online or at a store near you.
You know what's really terrifying? That unfinished college degree lurking in the background, just sitting there, waiting for you. That's where Southern New Hampshire University comes in. With flexible online degree programs, there's no commuting, no rigid schedule, and no more excuses. Plus, they have some of the lowest online tuition rates in the U.S. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to learn more before your degree becomes just another story about what could have been. Chilling crime cases are mysterious, but finding coverage shouldn't be. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options and can personalize your plan to help create an affordable price so you can get back to cracking all of life's bigger cases. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Head to statefarm.com to get a quote. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hey, weirdos. I'm Alaina.
I'm Ash.
And this is a special morbid.
This is one of the coolest morbids I think that we have actually ever had the chance to do.
It's definitely really cool.
It is absolutely phenomenal. We got to hang out with some very rad people.
Yeah, we got to hang out with, you might have heard of them, Radio Silence, who are made up of Matt Bellatini-Olpin, Tyler Gillett, and Chad Villella. They are the masterminds behind Ready or Not. They are the masterminds behind VHS, Southbound, and the new Scream
2022.
And they're gonna be masterminding the sequel to the new Scream,
which I'm so excited for. I think it starts filming in September.
Yeah, and not only did we get them, which would already be like, whoa, okay, I'm gonna listen to this episode because it sounds awesome. Oh, hold on to those butts.
Wait a minute.
We also got the star of the new Scream, Melissa Barrera. She plays Sam, who, if you've seen the movie, you know exactly who I'm talking about because she was fucking amazing in it. Again, if that was the case already, this is amazing.
But guess what? But wait, there's more.
Let me just tell you about the cherry on top of this whole delicious sundae of beautiful people.
I loved that.
We got to talk to Deputy Dewey Riley himself, David Arquette.
A life-changing experience overall.
To be able to sit there and talk Scream with Dewey himself was really something amazing, especially because we got to talk about Wes Craven. We got to talk about, the past Screams. We got to talk about the Screams coming up. We got to talk about anything and everything to do with Scream. We even got to ask about Stu, in case you were wondering.
The burning question that we've all had since the year of my birth, 1996.
Since the year of our Lord, 1996.
Oh my gosh.
So, oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
And so the thing is with this, we didn't do any spoilers. We made sure to avoid those, but we do talk in depth about the new Scream. We talk about plot points. We talk about characters that might not be completely known if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen the new Scream, 2022 Scream, and you are planning to see it and don't want anything spoiled, meaning like character names and possible plot points and deaths, maybe wait to listen to this episode until you've seen it. Other than that, we're not going to spoil any of the big things from it, but I think you'll have a fun time if you've seen it or if you want to see it and want to listen to it.
So without further ado,
here we are. Get ready to listen to Ash, myself, Matt Bellatini-Olpin, Chad Villella, Tyler Gillett, Melissa Barrera, and David Arquette. Thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate it insanely because we know you have like about 1 million press things that you probably have had to do the last few weeks, but we really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Of course.
No, it's a pleasure. So much. Yeah.
And this is going to be fun. I'm so excited. This feels like we're just like hanging out with a ton of people. It's awesome.
I know, it really does. And obviously, congratulations on like all the success already that this movie is getting. It's huge.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
It's insane.
Yeah,
And
we're thrilled. We're thrilled.
particularly, I have been so excited for this. Like the second it was even like hinted at, I was counting down the seconds. Like huge. Because so to start this off, I like to hear everybody's first like original Scream experience, because mine in particular, because it came out in 1996, the first one, I'm sure you all know. And I was like 11 when it came out, but my first experience of it was I convinced my mom to somehow rent the VHS from a Hollywood Video because she just didn't know it was a slasher movie. I was like, yeah, just throw that one in there. And I also did that with Children of the Corn to her once because it has a sickle on the front and it looks like a crescent moon. And I was like, it's about fairies. And she rented it. So, like, true story. And so this was one of those that I just was like, look at these pretty people on the cover. Let's rent that. And I remember being terrified, but being obsessed with the writing, obsessed with how different this was. Like, I couldn't stop watching it over and over. And I was also obsessed with Stu and Billy, which made me feel some type of way. And now I'm like, okay, I kind of made like a career out of some of that.
Yeah, it makes sense now.
It makes sense. But, and I think, Ash, you were...
This movie came out, the original Scream came out the year that I was born. So that's my first experience with it. But
we can all feel old for a second.
But we want to hear about all of your first experiences with it.
Yeah.
David, why don't you start? Because yours is...
Yeah, we were going to
makes
say,
sense.
we would love to hear David's first experience. When did you see it?
It came out the year I was born too.
What great acting at such a young age.
The funniest thing is the first time I saw it, I used to work at this newsstand on Melrose, and we all used to hang out there. They used to give out these flyers for, like, you know, when you live in Hollywood, you always get these little flyers that say, come to a test screening. And it gives you a little log line of what it's about. And they were doing that. And I was like, oh, what's the movie? And I looked at it and I read it and I was like, oh, I just filmed this movie. So,
I'm in this.
I know this one.
so I went, and then they saw me in the line at Paramount and they were like, you can't be here.
Oh my God.
That is amazing.
Like, oh. So I was like, well, I'm here. And they're like, okay, come to the
Here.
back, sit with Wes. Just don't let anyone see you. You're not allowed to be here. So they let me watch it. But the greatest experience is that I got to watch Wes watch it.
Ooh.
And I was watching it, but I kept watching, like turning to Wes, and he'd be like, ha, ha, ha. Sitting there, and he's sitting there like just knowing what's coming. And it's like, and then everyone would go, ha, and then they'd laugh. And he would just like chuckle. It was just my favorite moment ever, just watching him watch what he
That's the
did.
best.
That's amazing.
I know, it really is. I'm like, that must have been the coolest experience like ever.
Just knowing Wes
really
must have
was.
been an amazing experience.
It
Truly.
really was, because you see like the joy that he had in scaring people, but then people laughing as well, like at their
David,
reaction.
did you have a sense that it was like special when you were watching it in the theater? Did it like have that? Were you like, oh shit, we made a thing that's gonna last?
We did a thing.
Yeah, I felt it on this one too. It definitely, you know, there was that same kind of feeling. You know, you get it once in a while. It's when a lot of different elements come together, where you have great producers, great writers, great directors, a great cast that's gelling, not a lot of egos, or the egos balance each other.
There's egos, but they're good.
Yeah, exactly.
You need a certain amount of ego in this business.
I
Of
feel
course. What about you guys, Matt, Chad, Tyler? Your first experience with the original?
Mine was I saw it in Oakland at the Grand Lake Theater, and a friend of mine in college is actually in the party scene. He's the dude that's doing like the beer kit. What do you
Yes.
call it?
Oh my God,
I know exactly who you're talking about.
With the leather jacket. The leather jacket kid on the couch, and
That's awesome.
That cool
so it was
guy.
really fun. So it was like, oh, he gets messed with Henry Winkler. His name's Ryan, and so I saw it right after Christmas break, so it had probably been out like a couple weeks. But it was that experience, that I think we've talked about a lot, where it's a theatrical experience the way you want it, where the audience is interacting with the movie and they're doing exactly what you were just talking about, David. We were like laughing and gasping, and it's like you feel the energy. It's an energetic movie. It's not passive viewing. And I think that's what like got its hooks in me right away. I was like, ooh, all I want is this kind of experience.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how I felt. And I felt that way about this one too, because when we saw it, I was literally like, everybody was screaming, like laughing, gasping,
yelling things out,
like yelling, like no. And that's exactly what you want in an experience. I haven't had that experience in a theater, and I can't remember what.
Yeah, because you're with a bunch of people you don't know, but you feel like you're all in something together. Weirdly enough.
Yeah. And then you just latch on to the characters. I think the characters, the reason we all keep going back to Scream is because they're so good.
Oh, absolutely,
definitely.
For me, it was like one of the very first movies that I ever went to see multiple times in the theater, right? It was like the first time I saw it, I felt like I missed so much because I'm a scary cat, and and then B, I just would get caught up either in just the laughing and just having a good time at it. I might have missed a line or something like that, and just loving every single character on screen. And so we went back multiple times in that first week after we saw it, like maybe 2 or 3 other times. And that was the very first time I ever been like, let's go to the movies again to see the same movie. It was just that type of excitement around it. And it really meant a lot to us. And then with VHS and the way home entertainment was back in the day, we basically had it playing all the time in our apartment. It was just always on. It was like we had Scream and then we had Empire Records. It's
great combo.
Weird combo, but it was like, all right, we're going to roll with this for now. But yeah, so it was always on and always in our lives after it came out.
I love that.
I saw it on VHS. I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it at a sleepover.
That's his way of saying he's younger than the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
But I also,
You were on my level.
I was fascinated by the horror movie section of my video store growing up, but I did not like Fear and Fun didn't translate to me when I was younger. And I remember watching it at a sleepover, which I would say is like probably the scariest way to experience Scream.
Definitely.
Yep.
In a situation that's not safe at all, right? You're in a house, and I remember never being more scared and then never being more entertained. And it was this feeling of, wow, this movie is so much smarter than me. Mm-hmm. And the feeling of like, I'm being so manipulated by every moment of it, and just loving the ride. Every single second of it was just this really profound, eye-opening experience. And it was a gateway for me, like everyone says, so many people say it was, right? It was sort of the introduction to a whole galaxy of horror movies for me.
That's like exactly how I feel. Like this was the first slasher that I had seen, and that's still my favorite movie genre. And I'm like, I feel like it's because of Scream.
Yeah, and it was the first one too that I'd seen and that I had seen that was like a whodunit, like a true whodunit, where the entire time you're like, no, it's that one. No, it's got to be that. No, they're being too hard with this one. No, it's that. And I felt that, and they've done such a good job of doing that with every single one of them that you think immediately you know who it is, and then it flips it, and then it brings it back, and it flips it. And this one did it perfectly, because I went back and forth. Like I was like, it's this one. I know it. I'm locking it in right now, and I was wrong.
So, David, focusing on your character just for a second, because he's obviously a favorite in this house for sure, and a fan favorite.
We love Deputy Dewey.
Just far beyond. You've been in all the movies, and obviously, like the first one, there's a year between, and then 3 years between 2 and 3, and then 11 for the last 2. So, is it hard to stay in one character throughout such a long-running franchise?
Like, what's your process to get back into Dewey? Do you watch the movies?
Dewey? No, it's literally like...
You just fall right into it?
It's so weird. I could just think like, I'm Clint Eastwood.
Yes.
And then I remember No, you're not Clint. That's the whole character. He's like, just trying so hard, but then he's like, I'm actually human. It's not.
That's an amazing way to describe him.
Yeah, and then just I don't know. It's had this weird parallel with my life. So, I don't know. It's been just this weird, constant, kind of very close character to me.
I feel like the Dewey of 2022 is so evolved really from the one of 1996 and really even from the 2011 film. It's like a really believable natural progression. How do you feel about the shift in character going to this one, to 2022?
Yeah, I think it was really interesting what Guy and Jamie and Matt and Tyler did with sort of like seeing a character whose lives didn't turn out the sort of way he expected or would have hoped, or you know what I mean? It's kind of like there's something very realistic about that, you know, just in life experience. I've noticed just as you get older, there's like a little shine that you lose in like, you know, of like just being gullible or optimistic, and, you know, life beats you down. I don't know. I feel it's up to us to sort of keep that shine and like fight through all that and not let it beat you down, not give in or give up. So it was interesting to see him there. You know, we had a lot of conversation about alcohol, and like, I was like, I just didn't see Dewey as an alcoholic. You know, that's a whole other realm of self-abuse and everything. But, you know, we shot a bunch of stuff, but they ended up cutting some stuff. I don't know if it just didn't fit or if I don't know why.
You were right. That's why.
Yeah,
we
it was too heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like that you obviously wanting there to be some real emotional gravity with Dewey and where he's at, but there's a fine line between that, like that flavor, that seasoning, like being the right amount and being so much that it kind of pulls the tone in a direction that you just don't want to go, right? And, you know, David, to your point, I think, you know, you said so much during prep that there's even when Dewey's at like the darkest moment, there's this like buoyancy with his character. There's a feeling of like hopefulness, even though, you know, he's not the Clint Eastwood he you know, hopes he is, and thinks he is. That there's this sort of buoyancy to his character that really in so many ways gives these movies their flavor. And so it was one of the main reasons why that stuff just felt, you know, like it didn't really belong in the movie ultimately.
I could definitely see that.
And that's cool too that David, you know, Dewey so well, like you embody him. So it's cool that you're able to say, you know what, like, I don't think he would do this, or like, this doesn't feel right. And you guys were able to be like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. That doesn't feel right. And I think that's why it came out so realistic. Because when we first see him, I remember we were both like, oh man, like this is like, oh, I want to hug Dewey. But it was so real. Like you were like, if they had changed this into something, you know, way more like sunshiny, it wouldn't have been as real.
Yeah,
like I wouldn't have believed that. So this was so much more like, yeah, that's exactly what would have happened. It makes sense.
For sure.
But Melissa, you're back. We have you.
I am. I feel like I love just being here and listening, because I mean, I got to do some press with Nev and Courtney, and I was just like, how did I get so lucky to just be here listening to all these stories? Because they've been with this for 25 years. Right?
Yeah.
Like, we just came into this amazing roller coaster, and to work with the people that we've admired for so long. But they have so many stories. They have so much history with the franchise. With Wes, like David and I, when we were shooting that scene, when we're driving to the hospital, like David and I were in a car together for hours, and he was just telling me stories and stories and stories of like the first movies and about Wes. And I was just like, this is amazing. Like, this is like, anyone would kill to be in my seat right now.
Yes, pun intended.
We're just so lucky to have the generosity of David and Nev and Courtney to like come back without Wes and share all their knowledge with us and share their experience. And because it was the same, like with David knowing Dewey, it was fascinating to watch them, the three of them, just like slip right back into their characters so seamlessly. It was like magic. It was like you were seeing like the best David Copperfield show in Las Vegas. And I'm just saying that because like when I was,
Sweet.
yeah, you know,
Thank
like
you.
it was insane. Like it was beautiful to watch, and it was we were so blessed to have them guiding us, all of us.
Yeah.
See, and that we were exactly just talking about that before we jumped on here. I was going to ask you, Melissa, obviously this is a very established and beloved franchise, and you were amazing in it. Immediately I was like,
You fit
that's
so
my girl.
perfectly.
I was like, that's like, we were both like, yes.
Yep.
And I just want to know, were you nervous? Like, did you feel the pressure of this,
Like
that you were
going
stepping
into
in?
it?
Yeah, like stepping into such like a established franchise with legacy characters.
Crippling nerves.
Oh,
Yeah.
Didn't show.
I could only imagine.
Oh no, like yeah, it was so much pressure, and it was so terrifying that if I thought about it, I would just not show up on set. You know, like if I stopped to like think about it, I would just be too scared to even do anything. So I had to kind of like compartmentalize and be like, okay, you'll deal with that later, because right now you just have to show up and try and be as professional as you can and make the people that have been a part of this franchise for 25 years and that are trusting the newcomers to like carry this on and keep this going, make them proud and make them feel like that they were right to come back, you know, because in the end, like David, Courtney, and Nev coming back to this 5th installment was a huge like vote of confidence for Matt and Tyler and Chad and for all of us. So I felt the weight of that, and I was like, I just want to do right by them. And because they know Wes, they know what he would have wanted, and they know what he would have liked, you know, and if he would have been proud of this. And so that's what mattered the most to me. And I still, you know, coming in, I was like, this is going to be tough. Like, I already know that this is going to be tough because it's a story that's been going for 25 years. People are in love with these characters that they know and have known for 4 movies. And coming in and being a new girl, I knew that it was going to be rough. Like I was expecting it. I was expecting like the people that would be like, yes. And the people that would be like, hell no, we're out of here. We don't need that. You know, like I was prepared for both.
You made true Scream fans proud. I can say I speak for all of them, every single one. And as someone who loved all the original movies, I think you did an amazing job.
Yeah, I think you surpassed
I truly
everybody's
do.
expectations for sure.
You really did.
You said something that like totally just pinged for me, like this idea that you're so thankful that the work is as hard and as like fast paced as it is, because you don't have time to freak the fuck out about how crazy the task is, how, you know, that all of that anxiety can be so crippling, but it's only crippling if you're not in the process of making the thing. And we're always so thankful, and there's like so much credit goes to William, the producer, who was on the ground, just like pushing everything forward. Like there was never a moment where it was like, okay, well, we should just pause. And it was like, nope, just keep going. Like keep working the thing, keep working the script, keep working the scene. And you can't, you sort of aren't allowed to get anxious and nervous when you're just in the doing of it. And man, if we had taken even a moment, it would have been like a crushing.
That's why we all get sick and have breakdowns after we're done.
Yeah, I bet. Honestly.
I can't imagine. Yeah. And I was going to ask you guys too, Matt, Chad, and Tyler. I was going to ask you the same question, and you kind of answered it. That it must have been so crazy nerve-wracking, like just walking into this and just taking it in your hands. But it felt like you guys were really, and I think I'm right here, but I think you were like very confident in your vision for this. It came off that way, at least. And I think it was so much better than if you had like pandered or catered to every single wish of every, you know what I mean? Like, because there's so many fans that are like, I want this to happen, and I want this to happen. If they don't do this, rah, rah, rah. And I think you like gave what we needed, but you were so confident in your own vision that it was like what we didn't know we needed.
Definitely. Were there challenges along the way, like creating it?
Yeah, I think there always are. I think the thing, and that anxiety is like, it's there from the moment you first read something that excites you, and you're aware that not only of just the gravity of what it is, but that excitement and wanting to do that excitement justice is like such a huge thing, right? That you're like chasing that feeling of, fuck, I know this can be something great. And how do you hold on to that feeling for long enough to actually complete the task? And then over the course of making it, especially early on, there are always moments, and I think they're the same for all of us, but I imagine we also have kind of different ones where there's certain things that sort of click into place that make you go, oh, we're ready. Like, this is right. And I certainly meeting David and Evan Courtney for the first time, that was like a huge moment for us where, you know, I mean, they're heroes of ours. And so we want so badly for them to feel connected and, you know, for them to like vouch for what the project is. And then the other big one was when Melissa and Jenna, the two of you, did your chemistry read. And that was early in the process. This was like early pandemic. We were supposed to like be getting into pre-production, but everything had gotten pushed. And that was a moment for I think all of us on the producing creative side where we were like, holy shit, like we've got a movie. Like, this is totally gonna work. And you just keep trying to stack as many of those moments on top of one another, and you know, hopefully you make it to the end.
You did it.
Like, we are the fans, right? The three
Exactly.
of us, Sky and Danny, the writers. So we were having these conversations. We were all throwing out what our fan theories would be of where this would go. And like, obviously Jamie and Guy wrote an incredible script, and we all had to be on the same page moving forward. But like, we approached it as fans, and like from the original and all through all four of them, and making sure we had throwbacks from each of them. So it wasn't just like one. It's a fan of the entire series and not just picking and choosing. So, which sometimes, you know, like if you get on Reddit or whatever and you see a couple of those things, it might be, you know, like when people rank them, like, go away, just like enjoy all
right, exactly.
Yeah.
Enjoy them all. Like,
Yeah.
And you're gonna get
the same universe.
You're gonna get eviscerated.
I'm going underground.
I hate the ranking thing too. I hate that because I'm like, I just love them all. Like, I can't.
Exactly.
I love them all for what they are.
They're all special in their own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like picking a favorite child. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yo, can we talk about that for a second? We did a little party bus thing going around opening weekend, and we went to a few movie theaters and we introduced the movie. Like, we just like showed up and we watched people watch the movie.
Oh, that's so cool.
We introduced the movie to some shows, and we met this really cool fan. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah,
And it was his like 7th time watching the movie.
Wow.
That's amazing.
And it was Friday night. It was Friday night.
Oh my God.
That is
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah. He
Icon.
had seen it 7 times, and he like came out for like a drink, and he saw us there, and so he came and like we started talking, and it was just fascinating talking to him. But he was like such an ultimate, like, to me, fandom is about love, right? Like loving something. And then what I love about the movie is that it talks about like toxic fandom and like how it can like turn the other way around.
Yep.
and it gets so nitpicky, and like I get it. But he was just like so he got it. Like he got the movie. He got everything that we wanted to do, and it was just such a beautiful thing to get to talk to him, and him being like, this is my 8th time. He showed us all his tickets. I just want you guys to do well at the box office. And I was like, I almost started crying, because I was like, this is the Scream fandom. Like, this is why this story lives on, because people go. And I have like in my social media, people are like, this is my 5th time that I'm going to go watch it. This is my 10th time. Like, and it's that kind of movie that makes you want to go back, but it's such a team effort. Like, it's not just us that make it and that are in front of and behind the camera. It's everyone. Yeah. It's like, It's everyone that shows up to the theater and like goes and watches it and like tells people to go watch it. And all of this was for me to say that I wanted to talk about the third one, because I feel like the third one gets a lot of hate.
It does.
Thank you.
I feel like the third movie gets so much hate.
It does. I don't get it at all.
I did a marathon with my whole family over New Year's to prepare them for the movie, and the third one is my new favorite, because this time around, I think I was more of in need of like the humor, and it's such a humorous. It's like the funniest I think out of all the movies,
definitely.
And I didn't even realize it, but like talking to this fan that I'm blanking on his name, and I apologize, but
Jeremy?
you know who you are. You know
Jeremy?
who you are. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know who you are. But he was saying that the third one happened right after Columbine, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. We were talking about that actually.
And so that the whole like the shift in tone and the fact that it became a little bit more comedic versus scary is because they read the room. They read like the energy of the world in that moment, and that's what the world needed. And I just think that's what makes me love it even more.
Absolutely.
Because I didn't even know that.
I fully agree.
Like, oh my God. Like, it's brilliant. That was Wes, you know, like he was like, oh, okay, we're toning it down. We're making it this because we're living through this right now. And I just think that's beautiful.
Absolutely. Because it always makes me crazy. I'm totally with you guys with the ranking thing. It makes me nuts. I just can't do it. And it's true that 3 has so much. Like, so much. Like, that whole scene when the killer is revealed, I'm like, this is brilliant. Like, I love it. And it's different, but it vibes.
And it's so cool to watch a filmmaker challenging himself and the writing and the cast, that it's so clear that and David, I'm curious, like if you had conversations with Wes about that everything, like there was never a desire to just repeat, to sort of do the paint by numbers version, to make the assembly line franchise, you know, but to actually like really challenge what the idea is and try to find the new weird way that you could fold the universe in on itself. And I mean, that's why I think that franchise, it holds up as just one of the most memorable and exciting, because you can see that in the work that, you know, there's a real desire to continue to be inspired by what the characters are and, you know, what the world of Scream is.
Yeah, totally. There were moments throughout, and it typically came when it got really like the scripts got thrown out, like, you know, it got really sort of felt like it wasn't working, or something got revealed online, or all these little weird changes would happen along the way, especially with 3. And, you know, 3 allowed us to like dive into the comedy for sure. There was one moment where we were tied up or something, and it just felt so Scooby-Doo. Like, we were like, this feels so Scooby-Doo. But I've had the same experience where I've fell in love with it. And I also read Wes's memoirs, and it kind of got a idea for, you know, sort of his take and where he was coming from and all that kind of stuff. But then also, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, and 4, like, we had a bunch of conversations. I was trying to convince him that for us to have a kid, because we had a kid. You know what I mean? I was like, we have a kid,
Makes
so when we have a kid? And I don't know, it was always like I see dead people. There's always something, like, interesting about a kid in a scary situation. It just amps up, like,
oh, yeah.
You want to protect it and all that. But, also pitched the idea for like streaming stuff, but not like, as it came out a little clunky. But I, you know, was one of the people, I don't know who like finally did it, but I had been seeing that, you know, the internet was coming and all this stuff was coming. So, and Wes, we were talking about it, and then he started including all the camera sort of streaming element, which is, if you look back, way ahead of its time.
way ahead of its time.
I mean, every single one is ahead of its time in its own right, right?
Exactly.
Like, one, it's teenagers having cell phones. That's like the big shocking thing, right?
The huge cell phone. It falls and almost breaks his foot when it falls out of his pocket in the first one. It's like, are you all right, Billy?
Right, and even up till 4, where it's like so ahead of time with like the streaming, the live streaming thing, like David is showing, like what Snapchat tried the spectacles thing for a while, where you could like look and just wear the glasses and it would stream what you're watching, and that was years after 4 came out. So it's always about the times, but also aware of what's coming, and that's the fun of Scream. It's able to comment on where we're at as a society and where we're at in terms of our passions and what's important to us as human beings, and then also look a little bit ahead as to where things are going, and serve as a cautionary tale for all of that. And you know, at the bottom line, it's just like, just be good people. Let's not kill each other.
That's your takeaway.
Let's not murder.
Let's kill each other, guys.
That's the moral of Scream.
It really is.
End all murder. End murder. Do not murder your friends.
Dave, I have a quick. When for you did you feel like the idea of the fandom around the franchise became something you were aware of? Was that right after the first movie? Like when did it feel like, holy shit, there's a community of people who value this in a way that you maybe didn't anticipate when you started the process?
Definitely after the first and after it came out, and it's sort of like people started going to see it over and over again. But then when you go to a horror convention, that's where you really meet like people where it's touched them. They have stories about, you know, going on their first date and now they're married and have 3 kids, and like how deep that becomes for people. And you realize that along the way that it's really about entertaining the fans, and it's about that connection with the fans, and it's about those moments in time where those films had come out and where it resonates for them rather than for sort of what we were going through while we're making it or whatever. But yeah, so that's really always what touches me the most, is when people have those kind of experiences. And then I think back about my experience, like watching Halloween with my friends for the first time, and like, so that is really the best part of the horror franchise. It's like, that's scary, that's like fun, those memories, that sort of community you go to, especially when you go to a really rowdy theater. Mm-hmm. That's when it becomes the best. Oh, yeah. Especially like the opening, like the feeling even when this opened over that weekend was a feeling of almost like Halloween. Like
it really was. It was.
Like, yeah, it's really cool. So whatever that can happen, I really love.
Because it was such an event. Like we rarely have like events, like movie events anymore. So this felt like such a huge one.
It did.
Oh, I was so excited about it. And then just like for a quick story, just to tell you how much this one impacted, we went to see this one and we took my husband, who is like not a huge like slasher fan, but he was like, all right, I'll go. And he was guessing halfway through who it was. He was like, okay, I remember this from the other. Like, he was totally into it.
Connecting the dots along the way.
Which we were like, look at you.
I was like, wow.
We get home, we put the kids to bed, and I think I was just like doing a quick workout. I come downstairs, and he is watching the first Scream. And he was like, there's a marathon on, and now I want to watch the other ones. He was like, I want to see the new one again so I can start. Because we were pointing out the little references you guys put into all the Screams. We kept being like, Scream 2, Scream 4. Like, we were screaming. He's like, I don't remember that. Like, what are you talking about? So he went back and was like, I want to see it again so I can start knowing these references. So you, like, hooked him right back in. So thank you for that.
Awesome. We were doing press and I was with Nev, and I was like, Nev, I think about like going over the film and like certain things I think about it. I'm thinking of, she's like, you know the movie's over, right? I was like still in Dewey mode, trying to solve
investigating.
Be careful, Sydney. Don't trust it.
You're like, Nev, should you be out here alone? Like, are you all right? I love that. It's like, it's become like It's so real to so many people. It's like a real world that we live in. And I think that's also, like, we've talked about Wes a ton, and he is felt very clearly through all of the movies, including the newest one. And one of the things I loved seeing was one at the end, just seeing For Wes in that font and everything. I was like, oh, yes.
That was like a feeling, honestly. It was like visceral.
It was. We were just like, yay. And then also, there's a particular character named Wes in this one that as soon as I heard his name, I was like, yee. And a particular scene with him, I felt like was, and it's like, you know, the big scene with him, I felt like it was kind of a tribute to Wes because it was so gnarly. And I was like, I feel like Wes would love this. I don't know him, but I feel like he would love this. And I just want to know, was that intentional? Was that kind of an intentional tribute to him in a way?
Yeah, I mean, very specifically the name.
Yeah.
And in that scene,
I mean, I feel like the whole movie is a tribute to Wes from our point of view on some level, you know? So, yeah, for sure. And I think, you know, we were just talking about this yesterday with how gnarly that scene gets. Is one of the things that, and we've had a lot of people tell us that this one is more violent and more brutal than the other ones, which I don't think we agree with. But I think the thing that kind of dawned on us is that what we were trying to do when it came to that is to recreate the feeling we had when we saw the originals. Regardless of what it actually was, to us, it was so visceral and it was so real. And so to try to be able to recreate that was something that I think just really mattered to us.
You definitely succeeded. I can tell you that.
Yeah, for sure.
Because in the end, when For Wes comes up, you're like, yep, that was. Like, yep,
no doubt about it.
And I think that scene, that Wes scene, the big Wes scene, is, I know because I saw it a few times with different people, and that was the scene where people were the most on the edge of their seats.
Yes.
And like grabbing on to the arms of the other people because there's so many like fake scares in that. It's the scene that like kills you on the inside. There's so much anticipation for like, when is the attack going to happen? And it's just so beautifully constructed. And I think that it's very fitting that it's the character of Wes that gets that scene because it's so much of like what Wes, probably what you guys learned from Wes, you know, like that thing of like the keeping the audience at the edge of their seat and like tricking and all these wonderful things that Wes was so good at doing. Like that scene is perfect.
That was one of those scenes too that like in the edit, whenever we would watch it, it was one that we always found ourselves watching like we would be watching the movie.
Yeah,
I mean, we could get in there and tinker with it, but it was one that we would lose ourselves in just in the editing of it. It was, like we're just watching the West scene and we're all kind of holding our breath. And it's there are always those scenes in the movies that you're making where you sort of, it's weird. You like have this distance from it, and that's that, you know, it's working because it's having an effect on the people who were there, like, you know, making every little moment.
It also, David, what you were saying earlier about watching Wes watch the original and just like, that's the scene for us that we do that the most
mustache
with. Where we like, you know,
That's so awesome.
Yeah, that's the one where we do that the most.
Honestly, we felt it too, because like Melissa was saying, we were throughout that scene.
The two of us like
we were
this.
like grabbing, like what is happening here? And I think it's just the way it's shot and the way everything happens. That's why it just felt like such a Wes scene to me, because it was like the anticipation and the suspense in that scene, and you being like, ooh, like you just don't know when it's gonna happen. And then it took it like so, like we keep saying it was so gnarly, but it was like just enough. Like it was just enough where you were like, oh, like afterwards you were just like, damn, what did I just watch?
Truly.
It was so good.
That scene very, very sort of interestingly was scripted differently. It like was a real kind of action sequence where Wes like ran into his mom's room and like went to her gun safe, and there was a sort of ticking clock of like, is he going to get the gun out in time? And when we got into pre-production and we started kind of crafting, wanting to make sure that every scene, every kind of kill scene had its own really unique identity, that was always one that felt a little bit like it could be in any action movie. And then sort of coupled with that was just the production challenge of, well, you guys aren't going to have enough time to shoot to do justice to that action sequence. And I remember really specifically, we're sitting in the in Camp Sherrick, the conference room at the Homewood Suites, and trying to brainstorm, like, what can we do with this kill? We know these are the ingredients we know we have. And it dawned on us how fun it would be to do a kill, to craft something where the audience is fully aware of something that the character isn't. And they're just going about their normal routine, normal day, but the audience knows that there is something horrible like lurking somewhere in the house. And it was like one of those moments where we were like, shit, that's exactly the right idea. And then that house happened to be so perfect with all the little corridors and the way that the door to the pantry opens up.
Oh my God, yes.
And the way the refrigerator was positioned, we didn't have to move or design anything in terms of the layout of that space. And it was just one of those moments where like there's just something at work in the universe that it all kind of comes together and becomes what it is.
Yeah, it sounds like it was like Kismet, honestly.
It was a Wes moment.
Really.
It was.
Honestly.
Because I didn't know how that was going to end. Through that whole thing, I was like, he's going to be fine. Like, everything's going to be fine. And I was like, I don't think, when it happened, I was shocked.
I think Wes would be proud of that.
I think one of the things, like you were talking about earlier in the original movie and with this one, most of the cast was there watching outside on monitors.
Oh, that's cool.
They were working, had no reason to be there, but that was the kind of movie this was. It's like people would just go to hang out with their friends and watch these things. And, like that doesn't happen on a lot of movies where people go in on their day off to just watch.
Just watch it happen.
And the take that
cool.
we use in the movie when Wes does see Ghostface that was kind of a prank we played on Dylan too, because he didn't know Ghostface was there for that take, and we just wanted to get his like natural reaction to.
I love that
when he actually saw Ghostface standing with a knife behind him. So we stuck Ghostface in behind him when he was walking up to the door, because he did the door thing a couple of times, and then on that one we put Ghostface behind him in that jump where he almost jumps off
He almost hurt himself.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's awesome.
So obviously we found out that you guys are now working on the sequel, which is really exciting, and congratulations on that.
So exciting.
I think our biggest question surrounding that is, Melissa, because in this one you have such a fascinating kind of like backstory for this installment of Scream. Do you think, or do you hope that going into this sequel we'll get a little more information on you and like your family?
I don't know.
We're going to have to be really...
I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't even know that I've, I don't know. I can't, I don't know that I can, I don't know what to say because I don't know.
That's fine, that works.
We figured we'd ask. It's okay.
It was worth a shot.
That's always the best answer. That's always the best answer.
We're like, we got
Spoken like a true professional.
I've learned not to like hope or expect for anything and just, whatever the writers think is the best, journey for this sequel will be.
I love that.
I will say, I think the thing that we can say about it is that now that these characters exist, that what the script is and can be is so much more specific because they're real characters now, right? It's not just the blueprint of what someone can be. It's like Melissa, Jenna, Mason, Jasmine, like they brought those characters to life in such a real way that now the target for Guy and Jamie is now so specific, and we're so excited to see what they come up with.
I think it's going to be really cool to see. I'm excited for it.
That's because honestly, your character was the whole time. I was like, what's going on? Like, what happened?
Right?
Because you get little snippets of like, she got in trouble and she was like a kind of a bad girl at one point, and you're like, what happened? I need to know that whole time. And it's funny
because you know just enough, but you still feel so connected to your character automatically, which says a lot for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, I think it was definitely like it was a beautifully written character, and I feel so lucky that I got to bring her to life and that I got to work with David and Nev and Courtney. And are we doing spoilers here? I've been so careful because I know that in some countries the movie's not out yet, and so I've been trying to like not post spoilers or stuff like that to give people a chance to experience it on when they go and watch it. But I'm just happy that I got to play this character that is so different to Gail and Sydney. You know, like you already have Gail and Sydney, and these two women are the faces of Scream, and like they're such lovable and like fierce characters. And then Sam is so completely different to both of them, and that's what I loved about it. That like Guy and Jamie were like, how do we complement these two women that already exist? We're not trying to bring someone in that to be any kind of replacement, because that's not even possible. Like, let's bring in someone that's completely different, that can be a little bit, you know, how do you say? Not volatile, but like,
like kind of rough.
You don't know. Yeah, rough around the edges, and like you don't know what to expect.
Yeah, like shake things up.
That's what I liked, because it didn't feel like, you know, you were trying to be anything that you shouldn't be. Like, it was like that character was so its own character. And I immediately was like, oh, I'm excited for this character now, because it's so different. And now I'm like, where's this going? And I can't wait to see it.
Me too. I'm like, guys.
You're like, so. But I think because I know you guys probably don't have a ton more time, but I had to. And also, we're going to say, you know, in the beginning of this, we'll say, like, if you haven't seen it, maybe see the movie before listening. Not that we've really spoiled anything, but I don't want anybody just walking into like full discussions of it. Yeah. So we'll make sure people are a little prepared ahead of time. But I have 2 questions, and I don't know if you're going to be able to answer these. So if you can't, that's totally fine. If you're like, no.
We had to shoot our shot.
But I got to shoot my shot. So the first one, I noticed, and a lot of people noticed, in this last film, there was a little mention of a character called Kirby. That was from the 4th one. Ooh. I know, it's crazy. You probably didn't mean to, but it was there. And I personally love Kirby, the character. So when I saw this, I was really excited. And I just wanted to know, like, do you like Kirby? Do you like her enough to see her again, perhaps? Or what are your thoughts?
We love Kirby.
Yeah,
Kirby fans.
We're Kirby fans.
Yeah. Same.
That's
cool.
not accidental. That was a very...
It wasn't an accident?
No, we are huge Kirby fans. We wanted Kirby to serve even more of a kind of purpose in this last one, but at the end of the day, it felt like we kicked around a bunch of ideas with Guy and Jamie, but it always felt like to do that character justice, you need to like have a moment where Kirby can be Kirby, and we just weren't ever going to be able to really do that. And so it felt like the more fun way to sort of nod to her survival was in a very small Easter egg, and you know, just letting people know that she's out there and still in the world is such a fun. We had no idea, like, just the level of fandom and of theory around
the level of Kirbydom out there.
Kirby stan.
Yeah, it's intense. I really liked her character, but
that someone alive could create such a conflict was a totally foreign thing to us.
It's wild. But I feel like in these movies in particular, if you don't see them die, you're immediately like, welp, I'm just saying.
Anything's possible.
Anything's, like, which brings me to my last one, which
this one is a burning question and hot for debate.
So, I love Stu Macher. just putting that out there. Love Stu Macher. Heard around the block that it might be canon a little bit. I've never used that word until right now, so I want to let you know that he may still be alive somehow. I don't know how. I have not thought about it too hard. Do you think he's still alive?
Just your personal thoughts.
Anybody, all of you.
You don't see him die in the first one. I'm like blanking.
So you see a TV go on his head.
Fall on his head.
He groans, though.
Do you want Dewey's answer?
Absolutely.
I do.
Hell yeah.
I don't want to
more than anything
for anybody, but he does say he's a real loony case.
He is a real loony tune.
Yeah.
There you go. Boom. I like it.
Oh,
I like it because
very true.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
Drop the mic on that one.
Work on that bottle, David.
Yeah.
Because he does groan after that thing hits his head. He groans. I was trying to show my husband while we were watching it. I was like, see the groan? And he was like, no, he didn't survive that. I'm like, there's no way. I was like, you didn't see him die. I didn't see him brought up.
I mean, I'm a Matthew Lillard fan,
Oh yeah,
Same.
absolutely.
Such
I'm
a
also
incredible actor.
I'm also a Hayden Panettiere fan.
Yep, of course.
And Sam and Kirby are the same age. So just, if the writers are listening, I don't know that I have any.
Right
I
there.
feel like they would hang out.
20 feet away from us.
I feel like they would hang out. I'm just saying. They have similar vibes.
They definitely do.
I think so.
They both have good hair. I feel like it works. I'm for it. Well, with that, thank you so much for answering those questions, by the way, because they were like burning, and I was like, I gotta shoot my shot. I gotta try it. But David, Melissa, Matt, Tyler, Chad, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. This has been so much fun.
This is probably one of the coolest things that's ever happened to
Yeah.
us. So thank you.
Huge Scream fans, and this is like huge for us. So we really appreciate it, and we can't wait to watch the movie a million more times.
Thanks so much.
Thank
This
you.
was a lot of-
Thank you.
David, Melissa, so good to see you.
Thanks. So good
I
to
love
see
you.
guys.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Have a good call, David. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much,
Thank you guys so much.
Bye. So nice to
Thank
meet
you.
you.
It was so nice to meet you.
Hi, Melissa. We'll try to crash your dinner tonight.
Please do.
We will too. We'll get on a plane.
Okay. All right. See you later.
Love you, miss
See you
you.
later.
Bye, guys.
I like things my way. My coffee, my schedule, and my treatment. So I talked to my doctor about self-injecting with the Vyvgart Hytrulo pre-filled syringe, which contains efgartigimod alpha and hyaluronidase QVFC. It's injected under your skin, subcutaneously. It means I can inject in my space, on my time. It's my treatment, my way. Visit VyvgartMyWay.com. That's VYVGART myway.com. And talk to your doctor about Vyvgart Hytrulo. Brought to you by Argenix.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. From roof repair to emergency plumbing and more, when you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust. Find a pro for your project at Angie.com.